Hello everybody, this is Brad at Pisces Pet Emporium again here, and today we're going to be doing a species highlight on one of my favorite tarantulas, and that's going to be the Caribena Versicolor, previously known as the Antilles Pinktoe.
Welcome, Bison, we sell animals.
The nice thing about this species is even though it has been reclassified outside of the Pinktoe Avicularia line, you basically keep it just as such. So for the most part, what I usually recommend is an adult being in a mini tall Exoterra. We recommend usually about 3 inches or so of the soil. I usually recommend Reptisoil for this, but the new Jurassic Tarantula mix is another really good one to use, especially for these high humidity species. For a sling at this size, what we usually recommend is honestly keeping them in the cup that I make. I make the cups here, so it is a grab and go system, so then you can safely keep your tarantula at home without having to rehome them at this size. Just like with Avicularia, the Pinktoe Tarantula, these guys usually tend to like a slightly smaller enclosure as a baby until they become an adult. So keeping them in the cup that I make until they're about a quarter of the size of the lid is going to be ideal. I usually add cross ventilation in the cups to help out with humidity and ventilation, but because there's lots of ventilation needed with this species, I usually recommend misting 2 to 3 times a week to keep up a 75% humidity. For feeding, I usually recommend about a 1-week cricket at the size that we bring in here, which is usually about 1 inch to a half of an inch. So a 1-week cricket is going to be perfect for either of those sizes. With Caribena Versicolor, they usually take from tongs no issues, and that is what I recommend, tong feeding this species. This species can become quite shy and reclused, so adding a tong feeding into the schedule will help them kind of get to know you a little bit better, and you'll be able to see this species. When a species starts to feel more comfortable in their tank, they usually tend to come out and about and start to patrol around the top of the tank. This is an arboreal species, just like the Pinktoe, so having a tall tank is going to be highly recommended. These guys do get on the move quite often when they do start to feel a little bit more comfortable, usually patrolling the top of the tank. This is going to be normal. So if you see your Versicolor pacing around the tank, this is normal behavior for this species. Don't freak out. From being a blue sling to going from a purple adult, they do go through a slight change throughout their molts. This isn't going to happen overnight, as it does take a couple of molts to fully change color. That being said, do not expect the spider to stay blue its whole life, while it always turns its purple and black colors. Females will usually get a blushing red on their abdomen as well. All in all, this is a species I highly recommend as maybe your second or your third tarantula. It can even be done with your first tarantula as long as you know what you're getting yourself into. So if you have any other questions, why don't you stop down here at Pisces Pet Emporium and have a talk with one of our reptile specialists and maybe get yourself a new Caribena Versicolor.